Traveling with your bike is amazing, but it's not without its stresses and expenses. So today I'm going to run you through some hacks and some good old tips for making your life traveling with a bike as easy and as cheap as possible. Let's start off with some packing your bike tips. So first thing of course is to make sure you get yourself a good bike bag to make sure your bike's protected. But then I really start researching, look at where you're going, if you know there's going to be some bike shops near that place you're going, because what you really want to do is take the essentials but not too much, because if your bike bag weighs too much, so anything over 32 kilos, it won't actually carry it, but still below that you could get charged an awful lot for excess baggage. So I try and take the essentials but nothing too much. So things like a couple of spare tubes, but not getting too extravagant with the number. Also tyres. If I know there's going to be a bike shop near there, I don't tend to take a spare one because you may only need that in an emergency and they can be quite heavy. A couple of things I make sure that are always in my bike bag. So I take a rag, so for cleaning my bike, sorting the chain out, whatever. I'll stuff that in my bag because it's a good extra little bit of protection over my bike. Also, I always put my riding shoes in there because they can be a bit dirty, but it saves you that bit of space then. So I'll take a riding pack, so either a backpack or a bum bag like this, and actually stuff my tools into there. That's another thing. I try to make sure I'm just taking sort of the tools that I do need and nothing extravagant. So I've got a decent sized mini pump that will help seal tubeless tyres, but definitely not a track pump. So that's nice and light, but got loads of power. I've got one of these Topeak Ninja tools, so absolutely loads on here, even splits. So that pretty much covers all bases. Make sure you've got a chain tool. It's got one in there, and I've actually got one on that multi-tool as well. One thing I do like to carry is a big full-size 8mm Allen key, just for taking off pedals. You might find actually you need the leverage of one of these, and the multi-tool might not do it. So I always carry one of those. I've got a pressure gauge for my tyres. Again, that's one of those new Topeak ones that will work alone by itself or with a pump as well, super helpful. Shock pump. A few more essential spares. I've always got a spare mech hanger because that's something you never know if you'll be able to get that, even if you go to somewhere like Squamish or Whistler. There's loads of bike shops. There's a Canyon mech hanger, got that in my bag. Just a couple of other spares. I've got a quick link, 12 speed, and a set of brake pads. Of course I could probably find those here, but it's nice to have a set just in case. So I'm using this douchebag's bike bag. It's really well designed. You've got this metal frame in here, so actually it makes it really simple. I leave my disc rotors on and actually leave my rear mech on because it can't get crushed. So there's no way those things can get damaged. If you've got a soft bike bag or a box, you need to make sure that if things get squashed, they don't get damaged. So in that case, I'll definitely take off the rear mech and try and wrap it around the back of your bike using a rag or some bubble wrap, something like that. Take your rotors off because when the bike bag gets squashed, they will get bent. Another thing I do is put my bottles in the cages as well, just because they won't roll around. And again, those bottle cages aren't going to get squashed. It's just worth thinking about the type of bike bag or box you've got, and then really making sure that anything is going to be protected. There's nothing rolling around inside that bike bag that can damage your bike. You'll need to take the bars or the bar and stem off to get the bike to fit in the bag, but I always like to leave the stem on. So if you take the stem off, then your headset can sort of rattle loose and your fork can rattle in there, potentially cause some damage. So leave the stem on, then I take the bars out. And again, that's something you really need to make sure is secure inside there because they can roll around and they're obviously right next to your fork stanchion as well, so that can cause damage. Again, with this bike bag, they slide into that thing down there and then they're attached over the top, so they're just nicely sort of packed with soft packaging and they can't move around. One of my favourites is the old goggle bag wallet. So if I'm going for a ride, might need some money or a card. I don't want to carry my wallet with my driving licence and all that important stuff in there. So take out a card, take out a bit of cash, stuff them into my little goggle bag. Boom, stick that in your riding pocket. Away you go. Trying to find somewhere to wash your bike can be a bit of a battle. I would never recommend taking it into your room and trying to do it in the bath. It's going to make a right mess. Sometimes hotels will have a hose you can use. if not a petrol station, or if all else fails, ask a local rider. If you're in a hotel room, don't have any facilities, get a bit of shampoo, a bit of hot water, hand wash your kit in the sink. Then a nice little way to dry it out quick is wring it out first as much as you can and wrap it up in a towel. It's going to get the towel a bit dirty, so you might want to be careful about what towel you do it in. Wrap it up and then give it another wring out. This is one I learned from Cy Richardson. Apparently all the roadies use this stuff. It's oil-based sunscreen. So this is the 30 SPF, but it's just really, really hard wearing. So stick this on in the morning. You don't really need to reapply it. Maybe if your sort of shirt's rubbing or something like that, you might have to do it. But really this lasts through all sorts of sweaty, swimming, whatever you throw at it, it seems to last all day long. Also, this one matches my Retro Week t-shirt. It's quite expensive, but it's really good. I always think the safest place to put your helmet is actually in your hold luggage rather than hand luggage and bashing it around, getting in and out of aeroplanes. But the way I do it is get your helmet, stuff it full of sort of pants and socks so you don't take up any space, and then stick it in the bag and then surround it with the rest of your kit. Stuff that doesn't matter if it gets sort of crumpled up a little bit, like riding jerseys, riding shorts. Stuff it in there, nice and safe, it shouldn't get damaged. Well, in my rucksack, keep all my essential technology. So I've got cameras, obviously GoPros, got a 360 camera, got my Garmin, but you need somehow to charge it. So I always carry one of these battery packs and one of these things, so good. It's like a multi-dongle thing. Got all sorts of there, USB-C, mini USB, micro USB, lightning, so really handy. You don't need to carry loads of cables. Plus, this is one that Blake Sampson taught me. I have one of these cables hanging around in my cable drawer. Don't tell me you haven't got a cable drawer. It came with my Apple keyboard. Basically, it's like a USB extender. So often you go to hotels and they stick the plug socket somewhere miles away, so you can't sit in bed and do your Instagram. So got a super long cable now. Get in there, get scrolling. Once you get to your destination, you need to start looking into where you're going to ride. And we're lucky to live in a digital age, lots of apps and various online resources that you can use now to really find out the type of trails that are there, so you ride the ones you want to ride, things that aren't too difficult, and stuff that you're really going to enjoy, and also find the trails in the first place. So there's loads of apps for this. Garmin Connect will show you trails, and even show you details such as where the jumps are on that trail. Komoot is great for finding trails that are maybe off the beaten path a little bit, and people will put their highlights on there, so you start linking together sections to really make that trail really good. You can also preview how hard things are going to be, how steep they're going to be, the type of surface there is there. Trailforks is a great one for bike parks, finding all the different trails and linking them together. Also seeing information on things like the condition of the track and how technical it is. Also, Strava, you can use a heat map to see where people are riding. So there's a few of my travel tips and some hacks as well. I'd love to hear yours so I can adopt them as well. So leave them in the comments down below. If you want to see a skills video from our time here in Squamish, it's over there, so click on that one. Subscribe to GMBN, of course, and hit that thumbs up. Right, I'm riding.